Well, well, well. You feel it, right? That vibe creeping up your chest, tightening like something big, something real, something that won't wait for permission, huh? You've been stuck, waiting, guessing, wondering when it's your turn. Guess what? The moment you've been waiting for, it's sneaking closer. And wow, it's calling you out. Yeah, right now. No fake hype, no fluff, just the truth staring in your face. You're moving out very soon. Can you feel it? You're not alone. Yeah? Nah, we all see it. That quiet sign, that nudge, that wake-up moment. And if you've ever doubted yourself, if you've ever paused, this is your shot, your moment, your game changer. Stick with me. Watch till the end, because what I'm about to show you will flip everything. Your mind, your vibe, even the way you see your space. And yeah, leave a comment. Let me know, did you feel it too? You're not just watching. You're part of this tribe, the ones who see the signs, the ones who move first, the ones who refuse to stay stuck, waiting for excuses. Yeah, this is your tribute, your moment, your power, your turn. Change never knocks. It breaks the door quietly. You feel it, don't you? That strange pressure in your chest. Not fear, not excitement. Something in between. Like you're standing on the edge of something bigger, but no one else can see it. Oh, that's how it always begins. Quiet, subtle. Like the air changes before a storm, but the sky still looks calm. You keep looking around, wondering if maybe you're imagining it. But deep down, you know, this isn't imagination. This is transition, the kind that doesn't ask for permission. There's a moment before every major move in life where everything feels wrong, but somehow right. You wake up one morning and your room feels smaller. Your thoughts feel louder. The conversations that used to distract you start sounding empty. You start seeing through things, the fake smiles, the shallow noise, the circles that go nowhere. Yeah, it's strange. Because once your vision sharpens, comfort starts to suffocate you. What used to feel safe now feels like a cage painted pretty. You begin to notice patterns, how people around you keep doing the same things, repeating the same days, talking about change but fearing it. It's like they built a small world and called it home, but you can't breathe there anymore. You try to fit in just one more time, but it feels like wearing someone else's skin. Nah, that's not living. That's pretending. That's when it hits you. You're not broken for wanting more. You're just outgrowing what no longer grows you. The walls that once protected you are now pressing against your ribs. The silence that once calmed you is now screaming at you to move. Oh, the irony. You're still here, but mentally you've already left. You look around and realize your future doesn't live here anymore. There's a heaviness in the air, and yet something inside you feels light. Like your spirit is already packing its bags. You start throwing away old things, clothes, papers, memories, not because they're bad, but because they don't fit the new version of you forming quietly inside. The people around you might sense it too, that shift in your energy. You're speaking less, watching more, and their noise doesn't reach you anymore. They'll say you've changed. They'll whisper it like it's a crime. But maybe change isn't betrayal. Maybe it's loyalty to the truth you've ignored too long. Oh yeah, you can feel it now, that inner pull. That soft voice that says it's time. Because when you're meant to move, the signs come in silence, in discomfort, in that unexplainable distance between you and your old self. You'll try to deny it at first. You'll distract yourself with small tasks, fake smiles, maybe even convince yourself you're overthinking. But the feeling doesn't fade, it grows. And that's the one sign you're moving out soon. Not the boxes, not the goodbye, but the quiet realization that you no longer belong where you once begged to stay. Every cage looks safest right before it breaks. When you finally stop resisting, something terrifying and beautiful begins. It doesn't start with a loud sound. It starts with silence. A silence so deep that it almost hurts. It's the silence that shows up when you stop fighting what's already meant to end. Oh, wow. It's heavy, isn't it? You can feel everything shifting, yet nothing around you looks different. The same faces, the same rooms, the same words. But now, you see right through them. You start realizing how much energy you wasted holding together things that were already falling apart. You tried to fix what was never yours to fix. You tried to convince yourself that comfort was peace, when it was really just fear dressed up nicely. Yeah, that truth burns a little, because for the first time you're honest enough to admit you stayed too long, not because it was right, but because you were scared of what would happen if you left. Then something unexpected happens. You breathe differently. You walk differently. Even your silence starts speaking for you. People sense it, that shift in your energy. They can't explain it, but they feel it. You no longer argue, no longer chase, no longer beg to be understood. You've finally accepted that growth and comfort can't live in the same room. It's strange how peace feels dangerous when you're not used to it. You keep waiting for chaos to return, for someone to drag you back into the noise. But nah, that chapter's done, and you know it. You can't even fake belonging anymore. The version of you that tolerated everything, that version quietly left while no one was watching. You look around and see how many people are still trapped in the same routine, same words, same excuses, same tired dreams. You feel compassion for them, but you also know you can't go back. The door that once felt locked is now open, and the only thing left between you and your new life is courage. Oh yeah, courage. Not the loud kind, but the quiet one that whispers, "Go anyway." You start packing internally first. Your mindset, your habits, your patience. You clean your thoughts the way someone prepares a room for something sacred. You stop explaining yourself to those who don't listen. You stop proving your worth to those who only notice when you disappear. That's when it hits you. Moving out isn't about leaving a place. It's about leaving behind an old version of yourself that once begged for permission to exist. And once you step into that awareness, once you see how far you've come, fear starts losing its voice. It still whispers sometimes, tries to remind you of how comfortable, safe used to feel. But you just smile now, because you know the truth. You were never scared of leaving. You were scared of realizing you were always free to go. That realization changes everything. It's like a light turns on and suddenly you see all the exits that were invisible before. Oh yeah, you're ready now. You're not running away. You're stepping forward. Because once you stop resisting, something greater begins to build itself quietly inside you. Something stronger, something wiser, something that no past version of you could have ever imagined. Freedom exposes what loyalty was pretending to be. Some will cheer, most will fear, but one reaction will reveal everything. The moment you start walking toward your next chapter, masks begin to fall. Oh wow, it's almost theatrical. People who once clapped for you when you were stuck suddenly go silent when you begin to rise. Strange, isn't it? How support sounds loudest when you're not actually moving. But once you do, once you start stepping out of their pattern, the air changes. The smiles tighten. The tone shifts. At first, you'll think it's your fault. You'll question yourself. Maybe you're acting strange. Maybe you've changed too much. Maybe you're becoming cold. But no, the truth is simpler and darker. Your growth is showing them the mirror they've been avoiding. You're becoming proof that staying still was always a choice. And that realization hurts people who aren't ready to face it. You'll notice how some begin to test you. They'll throw small comments, disguised as jokes. You think you're better now? Don't forget where you came from. Oh yeah, you'll hear those. But stay calm. They don't hate you. They fear losing the version of you that made them feel comfortable. Because once you step out of the old space, they can't control the narrative anymore. You're no longer the quiet one they could predict. You're the one who finally saw the exit. And that's powerful. Dangerously powerful. Because once you move differently, you think differently. And once you think differently, you see through everything. You realize how often people confuse closeness with control. How they call it care, when it's really fear of change. You start understanding that not everyone was clapping for you. Some were just clapping for the version of you that made them feel safe about not moving. Yeah, it's not easy to watch that truth unfold. You'll feel the distance growing. Not because you pushed anyone away, but because your silence became too loud for them. They'll feel your peace as rejection, your focus as arrogance, your boundaries as disrespect. But nah, don't let that shake you. You're not responsible for how others react to your growth. You're only responsible for continuing it. This is where your inner strength gets tested. Not when things fall apart, but when people do. When you have to accept that some chapters can't travel with you, no matter how familiar they feel. You'll stand there halfway between who you were and who you're becoming, and the noise will tempt you to go back. But listen carefully. You've already crossed the line. You can't unsee what you've seen. You'll feel it in your bones. The freedom of no longer needing to explain yourself. The calm that comes when you stop seeking approval and start walking in truth. Oh yeah, that's when real movement begins. When you no longer need witnesses. Because here's the hardest part about moving out. You don't just leave a place. You leave a version of yourself that everyone else was comfortable with. You leave behind comfort that no longer fits your growth. You leave behind expectations that were never yours to carry. And once you do that, once you start walking alone with peace in your steps, you'll notice something new forming inside you. Peace is loud, only when you're the only one hearing it. Because the moment you stand alone, the world starts testing if you really mean it. The silence you once begged for suddenly feels heavier than noise. Every step forward feels like a question. Are you sure? Are you strong enough? Will you turn back? Oh wow. That's where most people fold. Not because they were weak, but because solitude exposes everything that pretending used to hide. At first it feels strange. The phone doesn't ring as much. The messages slow down. The familiar voices fade. You start eating, walking, and thinking alone, and for the first time, you meet the real you without the background noise. That's when it hits. This is the cost of freedom. You can't carry the crowd into your clarity. You can't bring noise into peace. Yeah, it's quiet, painfully quiet. But there's something powerful about that quiet. It teaches you how to build without applause. It forces you to trust your own voice when no one is echoing it back. You begin to see that loneliness isn't punishment. It's training. Training for a life that doesn't depend on being seen to be real. There will be days when doubt sneaks in like a thief. You'll question every move. You'll look at your progress and think it's too slow. You'll wonder if leaving your old world was even worth it. Nah, don't fall for that trick. That's just the old version of you fighting for attention. You left that voice behind for a reason. The path of growth is not about instant rewards. It's about building roots before showing branches. People will only notice once the results appear. But by then, you'll be too focused to care. Oh yeah, that's the moment where things flip, when silence becomes your strength, not your enemy. Because when you stand alone and don't collapse, you become something most people fear: consistent. You're no longer moved by gossip, by doubt, by delays. You stop begging for doors to open. You start building your own. The same people who once doubted you will start whispering again. But this time, their tone will change. Respect always arrives late. And when it does, you'll realize you didn't just survive standing alone. You mastered it. You didn't need the noise to keep going. You needed silence to understand direction. That's the shift. When being alone stops feeling empty and starts feeling right. When peace doesn't scare you anymore. The quiet you survived was only preparing you for the move that matters. Because the moment peace meets opportunity, the world sees what silence was really building. You've waited. You've tested yourself. You've stood alone while noise and doubt tried to pull you back. Oh wow, now it's time. The air feels different. You feel it in your chest, that subtle vibration that says something is about to change. Opportunity doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It whispers. It taps lightly on the door of your awareness. You notice it in the small choices, the unexpected openings, the timing that feels almost too perfect to be coincidence. And yeah, it scares you. Because now, action carries weight. Action carries visibility. Action means the world will watch every move you make. At first you hesitate. You check your footing. Weigh the risks. You remember all the times staying quiet felt safer? Nah, don't let hesitation steal this moment. You've been preparing for this longer than anyone realized. Every moment of doubt, every lonely night, every pushback you endured, it all led here. The training was silent, but the result is undeniable. Then something remarkable happens. You realize that what you thought was fear is actually readiness. Your patience, your discipline, your quiet growth. It's not just survival, it's preparation. And now, the doors that once felt impossible to open are shifting. The walls that once confined you are revealing cracks, small spaces where your new path can slip through. Oh yeah, and you're ready to slip through. You move differently now, confident, calm, deliberate. No need to prove, no need to explain. The world will react. Some will cheer, some will doubt, some will simply watch in disbelief. But you've stopped needing approval. You only need action. You see the opportunities clearly, and you step toward them with the strength you built in silence. And here's the truth that hits harder than you expected. Opportunity always meets preparation. The quiet years, the unseen efforts, the moments spent standing alone, they weren't wasted. They were laying the foundation. You've become the person capable of taking the chance that once would have terrified you. Oh, and the irony is beautiful. The world that doubted you, that ignored you, that tried to hold you back, now it witnesses your emergence. Not by accident, not by luck, by intention, by the decision to finally answer the call that life whispered all along. Yeah, it feels incredible, but also humbling, because growth is never about being louder than others. It's about moving when it matters, stepping forward when the path is clear, and leaving behind the version of yourself that waited for permission to exist. The #1 sign you're moving out, the real one, isn't the boxes, isn't the goodbyes. It's that quiet, undeniable readiness inside you that refuses to stay where you no longer belong. And now, as the first step meets the open path, one truth becomes clear. And that's it. You saw the #1 sign. Moving out very soon is real. Oh wow, the moment is yours. Stay focused. Leave a comment. Tell me if you felt it. Your next chapter is waiting. Go claim it.